combined as one, and this follows right behind the Mayan calendar. This one is bringing in the connection of our strands of DNA with specific characteristics and then associating them with these crystal skulls that are being used now for meditation and also researched with what they were finding, some that are thousands of years old. There's a Mitchell Hedges crystal skull that is really profound and has been studied by Hewlett Packard as far as how it was even created and its superior molecular structure. Behind me, you'll see over below right here, I have some. They are pretty popular now. When you go to the gem fairs, they have them. They're making jewelry with them. And then also I have salt crystal on the other side. These are great for healing and ionizing the air. So let me get started. Your cross, a point where soul and matter combine as one. This is a fiction novel, a labor of love, if you will, to combine all that we know from our spiritual soul to our facilitated symbols, material, molecular structure to what creates our cross. For the symbol of our cross is really the point where matter and soul combine as one. In this writing, I try to use facilitated symbols of the cross and crystals, especially those shaped as our very skull, to bring home the realization that while here in the body, we are still really a soul being, thus protected by spirit. Also, again, reminding everyone of the Mayan code of 12-21-2012, plus a few others that were included to explain the differences in the Gregorian calendar versus the Mayan calendar. The use of crystals and the symbols of long ago help us to know and remember. To this, our sacred cross represents the meeting place of spirit and matter, female and male, and point of creation on all planes. This is our hallway to all levels of reality. The use of crystals, especially the ones shaped like our skulls, are more than a vision, but a superior molecular structure used to transport and house knowledge of old as well as what can be programmed today. Won't you come now and take this journey to discovering what your heart may have very well have been yearning for? So here we start in correlating the atom to our soul structure. And this is where we find our point, which opens a pathway in realizing our soul of selves. This will happen in an instant, a moment in time, if you will, when all of our core of selves becomes prevalent, so that a pathway to all our realities suddenly knows the time is but an illusion. This is a place that resonates, a recording in our mind's eye to review the soul, and is really our holy cross, where the point of soul and matter reveal our true selves. For there is our mind's eye vision. Once this point is rediscovered, the clutter, the chatter, illusions, if you will be no more. Those who are from areas such as Tibet or those that have actually been able to use the crystal skulls, did this give them some kind of superior strength in realizing their holy cross? Did they also model a superior flow of knowledge, which we can each readily know today? Matter's structure, does it retain knowledge in its molecular dust left on the ground? Can we raise it again, retap into its knowledge? Like the crystal skulls of old, what role does matter really play in the retention of old? Color? Now, this illusion asks if color really symbolizes a similarity of soul structure to that which is responsible for that which we really do see. Sleep within is the soundness of your bones regarding both the night and day, for here in the mind we see clearly with our angels that for which we really did perceive. Be it soundness of sleep or awakening of your mind in the activity of the day, these special guides of our mind's eye are truly divine. The ride is really our ability to take that which we master of the arts, reacting a transcending connection of spirit, which this divine state can leave for our children of a later time. Now, that is what really cushions the earth's ride. Now take a look at crystal skulls. These are the models of our minds that could really work if all parts were ignited versus the 10% presently used. Here our real story begins with a pebble being dropped into the sea of life, thus asking the question, how far will your waves grow in your expanded time of incarnations, which has now just begun. Crystal Skulls Speak is about the use of ancient crystals in realization to old continents such as Atlantis. There is, and here it speaks of our heart chamber and its function in relation to our existence in the body. Planetary bodies are how these ancient crystals were used as the hard drive atop our pyramids to send and transport these bodies of knowledge to and fro. Thus, with such power, the abuse set off these catastrophic changes in Earth's history, which is now returning full circle once again in knowingness, if you will, of what we really did know, cleaning it up. Now, that we can see the holograph, the symmetry of other systems in relation to us in the scheme of things, we can take our rightful place in elevated shifts to the knowingness that we once again do hold. With the start of Yanbi of Sutya, energy. This is energy. We began to understand the symbols of our 13 spheres, our 13 skulls, to the vital points of our energy points that keep us aflow. This first strand of DNA, crystal skull, sphere of our being, if you will, is the storehouse of knowledge. With the understanding of energy, we are able to move about in our dense state of being to accomplish our purpose. Tra, Nin, Swir. This is knowledge. This is their next storehouse of DNA. Here we are able to know those bits of information that connect us to our God, our mainframe, if you will. This lets us see what it is that we are yet to learn. Tra, Sar, or stability. This strand of DNA balances our existence between the soul and matter. It becomes our holy cross of melding in an instant all knowingness. Temperament, Ladius Sebius, our special strand of DNA. This gives us a gauge, if you will, of energy flow to just the correct balance to each specific situation. Brint Yun, sweet resolve, is a way to let the heart bleed, to have resolution within your chamber that lets us reside here at all. Mistress List, unique gifts. This is really disseminating aids and giving us power over any negative manifestations. If we can ask, know, and learn our spiritual gifts, we will be equipped to reach all that we so desire. Drud Kayak, soul groupings. This is our pod, our origin from the cosmos outside this planet. To know our appendages, per se, will help us to truly know ourselves. Tara Mopt, authenticity. This is our DNA strand of reality, this peeling away of all layers of deception. For there is our core, our soul, to which is our being made whole. Vatu Nu, endurance. Here we have a strand of DNA that can really send us on our way. Without this, our time is very short, for to endure becomes unattached. That is our true key indeed. Gits Lintnu, spirit. The spirit is our protection. It is clothing of a heavenly nature, replaceable to each, that is really of a renewable quality. For if the renewing of spirit is learned, then we will always have our soul flow in this world. Free will, or Knar Na. This is a gift given to all that are experiencing life, to realize and to choose that which is within the soul. While experiencing a lower dimension is our rudder in combining matter with our core. Dintner is linguistics. This is the recording of codes, a vibration of choice for disseminating communication of information in the lower of dimensions. Gamma Ah. This is the head skull, your skull, commander of all the knowledge, reconstructed for each of ourselves to direct from the heart once the soul can bring about the remembering of our core. Points to ponder. This is the realization that mediums such as crystals can bring about our elevated state of existence by modeling the mediums, modeling our minds of a superior structure. Connecting the symbolism is taking the days of old with regards to told continents and various religious orders, mythological to heavenly orders in seeing how this is really our facilitated technique for connecting us to our heavenly ports. Relevance revealed is Solomon's sacred recordings of systems of planetary bodies in descending order of importance from Saturn to the moon and their secret names. The days he also gave descending order from highest to lowest, starting with Saturday and ending with Monday. These rituals of both Solomon and Hindu origin use our structure to unleash a desired molecular flow as recorded in our crystal skulls of old. Rhythms with our universe is truly a law that creates a cohesive flow to all that which our universe really does know. Molecular bonds, a connection from the past, can be rediscovered in the atoms of old as our spirit remembers that which has gone before. There may be a tingle, an emotional feeling brought on by the movement of our molecular structure from what we now have emotional involvement with. Observer is speaking of these ancient crystals as being our observer over time, where we can make our own unique systems, just as the 13 skulls aligned and coordinated information until the system can run in a cohesive way. Advanced communication introduces the Mitchell-Hedges crystal skull, letting us know this is a find indeed, unexplained in how old it is or how it was made, but an advanced phenomenon indeed. With this find, we can concur that there were advanced civilizations on our planet at one time. Chakra connections with the skulls reiterates the holograph, the connection of our chakras, planets, sacred skulls to connecting our universe symmetry in a kaleidoscope of flow that correlates to all that we really do know. Spectacular is our mind versus the illusion of time is speaking of our knowingness that transcends the illusion of time, a shift of one's mind to bring an understanding to our various journeys over time. Once one string of our being, the 13th skull, that is of yours and mine, this is our own mind that takes us into perfection of what magnificent splendor each of us and our talents could share. Here we use our minds to restructure and activate all parts of what is possible inside our brains to a perfect possible molecular structure, just like that of these other crystal skulls. Love to Help Me Know My Way mentions that the original crystal skulls were created in love, so this mass mainframe of housed knowledge is given in a way, loving way, for each of us to move forward in opening our hearts, relinquishing fear now that ignorance is dissipating, with knowledge being disseminated. And this title I used here, Love to Help Me Know My Way, is also a title of one of Seal's songs, a very good song. Universal data, a learning of information that these skulls were linked to all the libraries of old, which was called the Great Ring of Knowledge, that can create a collective conscience from what Atlantis did already know. A golden age is recognizing these halls of knowledge are opened once again to the wisdom of the ages, and that will allow for physical immortality. Now, what is a skull? These are models, mainframes, from housing in our knowledge and connecting each thought of all knowledge held in our universe. Once these minds can realize their full capacity, then these skulls of elevated levels of existence will indeed bring about a positive change to our global planet. Our tree of life is reflected in our skull like an arc from God's all-knowingness is now to be fully reflected in the mind's grace to love also the spheres and to contain our colors orchestrating our very being of selves. Just as colors facilitating our connection to our God, so does the playful meditation of chants facilitate our heavenly connection that elevate our senses to a wonderful place that makes us divine. Restoration of the mind is really the flame of the soul that reflects light in our dendrites and syntax of the mind that brings us to a place that remembers all in an instant. Retreat of our being is the place where we become the calculus of our own density, the orchestrator of Einstein's determinants that create our geometric shape of mind. And so, again, this story is connecting relics of old, such as the Mitchell-Hedges